Okay, so the next part is our body shop hand tools that we are using on body repair and painting. So actually, most of the tools have been discussed during your first semester in subject automotive hand tools, fasteners, and machine binders. So we will skip and then we will focus lang dun sa tools and equipment na ginagamit natin specifically on the subject matter. Okay, so at this juncture, we have to explain why having a large assortment of general purpose hand tools is important. Second, explain the importance of owning high quality tools. Third, differentiate between general purpose tools, special tools, and shop tools. Next is differentiate between general purpose tools, specialty, and shop tools. Identify body hammers, slide hammers, dolly spoons, and other body tools. And then I think parang na-discuss ko na rin ito last meeting. Ano? So, tapos na tayo, I think, dito sa mga to. And then, na-discuss ko na rin last meeting yung about dollies at saka dun sa ating mga body tools. So, actually, ito yung hammers na commonly ginagamit natin sa body repair and painting. We have the sledgehammer, letter B, we have the ballpeen hammer, letter C, the plastic tip hammer, and letter D, the rubber mallet. And then, yung last meeting din, na-discuss natin yung iba pang klase ng hammer na nagkakaiba dun sa tip. And then, after that, meron din tayong ginagamit na mga aviation snips. For example, we have to repair our body and then we have to tawag doon welded or soldered. So, pwedeng gumamit tayo nito. And then, actually, pero pagka mga body panels, hindi ina-advise na tayo yung mag-repair kasi meron siyang designated thickness na yung company ang nakakaalam. Kaya minsan yung mga built-in or yung nabibili na yun ang ginagamit nila para systematic at saka uniform yung dimensions ng materials. And then, yan, may mga pick hammer din tayo. Also, we have discussed last meeting yung different types of dollies. As you can see in the picture, we have the A, the heel dolly, letter B. We have the utility dolly, letter C. The general purpose dolly, letter D. The mushroom dolly, letter E. The comma wedge dolly, and letter F, the toe dolly. Although they are all dollies, as you can see, their edges are different, meaning depending upon the application or the body part na paggagamitan, yun yung gagamiting dolly. So as you can see, they are different in terms of shape and the positions that can be used on the body of a vehicle. So depende sa body ng vehicle kung alin yung gagamit niyo yung dolly. So actually, dolly is used with a hammer. So alone, kailangan meron siyang kapartner na dolly. So ang dolly, it serves as a support mechanism for hammer. Ibig sabihin, siya ay in partner with hammer. Kaya nga merong hammer and dolly. On the other hand, yung tinatawag nating spoons is an alternative for dolly. As you can see in the picture for figure 4-19, it is uses when SPAY prohibits the use of dollies. Meaning, kung hindi mo masusot yung kamay mo, and then may limited space lang para magkaroon ng kontra, so we use spoon. So, spoon prohibits the use of dollies. Spoons can be used to help remove or damage parts, as you can see on the picture. Next, we are also using the different types of spoon dollies like dinging dollies, surfacing spoon, insert, medium, high, inside, heavy, and bumping files. I think napakita ko na rin sa inyo yan. And then also, we are using the what we call pullers. So pullers are tools used to pull out dents. So they are commonly used when it is not possible. So as you can see on figure 4-20, sa figure 4-20, ito yung mga sinasabi kanina na types of spoon. So we have A, short elbow, letter B, the curved spoon, letter C, the offset straight spoon, letter D, we have the long elbow spoon, letter E, the curved flat spoon, letter F, flat top spoon. On figure 4-21 naman, ito yung several types of puller. So letter A, we have the pull rods, letter B, we have the picks, letter C, we have the suction. Ito fixed. Letter C, we have the suction tool. So itong mga to, most of the time ginagamit para dun sa mga light dent. Ibig sabihin yung mga konting lubog lang. Okay? On figure 4-22, so we have the dent puller. Okay? And then on figure 4-23, pull rods are used to pull out dents. As you can see in the picture, note that the two pull rods and a hammer are being used to remove this dent. And then we also uses files for finishing operations, meaning pagka merong uh, wait lang, baba. Mga surfaces na kailangan ay i-furnish, and then may mga debris or ano bang tawag doon? Hindi man debris eh, yung mga yung mga foreign material sa surface. So, nililihan natin siya kaya we use files. Okay? And then, ito yung ating typical window tools. So, letter A, ito yung ating mold release tool. Ito yung letter B, yung windshield removal tool. Letter C, we have the suction cups. Okay. Letter D for windshield locking tool. And letter E for window clip remover. Okay. On figure 4-25 naman, ito yung ating images for letter A, door handle tool. Letter B, trim. Letter C, we have the door handle tool. Letter D, we have the door hinge wrench. Letter E, we have the clip removal tool. And letter F, we have the universal trim seal tool. Okay? And then, we have the taps and dies, jack stand, alam na naman ninyo yan. Ano? So, those are the basic tools that we are using on automotive, body repair, and painting. Next is Chapter 5, Body Shop, Power Tools, and Equipment. Okay. So far, do you have questions with the tools we are using? Siguro ang questions niyo doon yung specific functions. Later on, I will be showing a video presentations on how they are using. So papakita ko yung video. May video tayo dyan para mamaya. Okay po. So far, do you have questions? Okay, none. So
Wala po, sir.
the next part is the body shop power tools and equipment. So after this chapter, you should able to enumerate the advantages of using power tools in automotive body shops. Obviously, it is more advantageous to use power tools than hand tools kasi more power, less effort. Letter B, the differentiate between power tools and power equipment. Letter C, or number 3, explain the difference between electric, pneumatic, and hydraulic power tools and equipment. I think alam niyo naman yung difference dyan kasi nung first year may pag-aralan na natin ito. Explain the safety procedures that should be followed. Identify the power tools commonly used in automotive body shop. So electric tools, meaning they are tools operated by what? Anong electric tools? There are tools operated by
Electricity.
Electric.
electricity. Tama, very good. So those are tools operated by electricity or electrical power. So examples of these are impact wrenches, sanders, polisher, grinders, drills, screwdrivers, and welders, which are typical examples of electric tools used in the body shop. So as you can see in Chapter 6 for information on welding equipment, although there are pneumatic equivalents for most of the electric tools used in the shop, some tools are only available as electrically powered models. So these tools include bench grinders, drill presses, vacuum cleaners, heat guns, infrared dryers, air compressors, power washers, and various cordless tools. So, meron lang warning dito to prevent electrocution, never stand on a wet floor when using electric tool. So, always repair tools immediately if they operate hot or if you notice electrical arcing. So, kapag ka ang isang equipment ay nagiinit, so be aware, So, nowadays, there are many cordless tools used in automotive body shop. So, when we say cordless tool, so, ano ibig sabihin nun? Less wire. So, the term cordless simply implies that it is a battery-operated or cell. It has been used as the power supply instead of a wall outlet. So, ito yung mga nauso sa mga online, yung mga cordless tools. So, cordless tools do not require power cords. So, the portability of cordless tools and the absence of power cords makes them convenient, especially when drilling or when we're using impact wrenches. So, however, these tools require frequent recharging and have a much shorter service life. Yun nga lang, medyo mabilis siyang ma-discarga if heavy yung ginagawa natin life than conventional electric tools. So, the cordless tools commonly used in the body shop include drills, screwdrivers, orbital sanders, and vacuum cleaners as shown in figure 5-1. So, in figure 5-1-1, as you can see, those are the cordless drills which are commonly used in automotive body shop. Okay, so pag sinabi naman natin pneumatic tools, ano ibig sabihin nun? So, those are tools operated by compressed
Air.
air, tama. Ano? And are used extensively in body shop. So, these tools have replaced comparable electric models for many applications. So, pneumatic tools are preferred by many auto body shop technicians because, una, it uses compressed air which is readily available in shop. Second, the possibility of fire or explosion is reduced because pneumatic tools do not produce electric sparks. Third, the possibility of electric shock is reduced because there are no electrical connections. Fourth, pneumatic tools are lighter and smaller than comparable electric models. Fourth, repeated overloading installing will not damage or overheat pneumatic tools. Next, pneumatic tools consist of fewer parts and therefore are generally cheaper to purchase and service than their electric equivalents. Pneumatic tools run cooler than electric tools, and pneumatic tools have variable speed and torque adjustment. So, dry clean air is essential for proper operation of pneumatic tools. Of course, meron tayong maintenance when we use pneumatic tools, yun yung compressor. The moisture and dirt will cause the tools to lose efficiency and wear out prematurely. So, an air transformer can be used to filter dust and moisture from the air. So, yun nga lang, kailangan from time to time we clean the filter. So, all air power tools and equipment should be oiled frequently. A lubricator can be used in the air system that power pneumatic tools, except blow guns, sand blasters, and spray guns. So, always allow the manufacturer's recommendation on care and maintenance of air powered tools. So, a short leader hose, yung white hose, with quick coupler connection is recommended for use with pneumatic tools. So, the short leader hose permits greater movement and flexibility when using the tool. So, quick couplers allow tools to be easily connected and disconnected. So, yung quick coupler, yun yung nagdudugtong dun sa ating pneumatic tools at saka dun sa hose, dun sa compressor. Ano? So when we are working with pneumatic tools, always wear a face shield or safety goggles in pneumatic tools to avoid yung ma-inhale natin yung mga mist o yung mga gabok. So typically pneumatic tools includes yung sander, okay, grinders, ano pa, impact shields, drills, floor jacks, spray guns, blow guns, ratchet wrenches, screwdrivers, polisher, yan, mga buffer, sandblaster, and nibblers. Okay, next. May tanong sa pneumatic tool. Medyo mabilis ba ako? Pinapaspas ko kasi.
Hindi sir, okay lang.
Okay, so you can interrupt me anytime if you have inquiries or medyo mabilis ako magsalita. Pinapaspas ko na kasi ano. So the next one is the hydraulic tools. So from the word itself, hydraulics. So it works with fluid. So fluid alone, hindi siya pwede. Kailangan meron tayong pressure. So depend on fluid pressure for proper operation. So these tools are equipped with a pump system and forces hydraulic fluid into a cylinder. Commonly, anong application natin ng hydraulic tools? So ang idea natin, when we say hydraulic tools, meron tayong fluid, and then meron tayong halimbawa piston, or meron tayong uh, retracting and extending piston, di ba? Ang halimbawa ng hydraulic tools, yung mga floor jacks. Ano? Yung pintuan ng bus, hydraulic yun, operated. So the pressurized fluid can either push or pull a ram in the cylinder. So hydraulic pumps can be operated manually by hand or by a motor. So air over hydraulic system utilize a pneumatic motor to drive the hydraulic pump. So electric over hydraulic system utilize an electric motor to drive the pump. So, ngayon nga pala yung Friday, TGIF. Thanks God it's Friday. Ramdam na ramdam ng pagod. So, pneumatic and electric motors are used uh, when large amounts of hydraulic fluid must be pumped or when great force is required to accomplish a job. So in some repair works, automotive body technicians preferred manually operated pumps which allow them to feel the pressure action of the pump when applying force. So later on, I will be posting my discussion and I will show you the video presentations of those materials that I am pertaining to para may idea kayo kung paano siya ginagamit ng actual. Okay, and then, meron ako sa inyong assignment, di ba? You should prepare the plan for dun sa engine stand, engine frame na pinapagawa ko sa inyo. And then, I think meron na kayong groupings, tama ba? The next week, dadali na yung materials at i-start, sisimulan na yung construction. Nag-usap na ba kayo para sa materials? Mag-usap kayo. Kasi next week, umpisa na yung paggawa. So, bibili na kayo ng bakal, bibili ng bakal, bibili ng, ano nga tawag doon, welding rod. At saka magdadala kayo ng sander pamputol. Pero kung gusto niyo naman, manumanuhin nyo, edi lagaring bakal. Hiram kayo dun sa, So, dala na lang kayo siguro ng bala. Meron naman akong drill, pwede kong dalhin para pwede nyo magamit. So, pag-usapan nyo yung plano and then, mamaya, I will be posting sa Google Class yung assignment kasi di ba ang assignment ko sa inyo individually is you will pass your individual plan for the engine stand. So, yun yung participation ng bawat isa. And then, out of those plans, each group will choose a one plan na susundin for the construction of the engine stand. So, yun yung ating napagkasunduan ng last meeting. Do you have any comment with the activity? And then after the construction of the engine stand, syempre you will fit the engine and then you will fix. After that, yung sunod naman yung activity is yung magpipintura kayo ng mga pintuan doon, 4. So I will group you into 4 and then kung sa kayo mapa-assign na pintuan, yun yung inyong ire-repaint. Okay? So, tatanggalin yung dating pintura tapos ire-repaint. So, I am requesting na sana ang nirepaint nyo ay mas maganda yung kalabasan, hindi yung mas pangit ang kalabasan. Ang repainting ginagawa para ma-improve yung pintura at maging maganda ang aesthetics ng isang sasakyan. So, pagka mas pumangit, so meron tayong before and after. Before, ito yung itsura niya. And then after, ito yung naging itsura niya. So, mas pangit, edi mas mababa ang grade ninyo. Okay po. So, walang clarifications. And then next, power tools. Next, ito yung tinatawag nating impact wrenches. Okay. Ito yung ating impact sockets na sinasalpak dito. And then we have the high torque pneumatic ratchet wrench. Okay, we have the nibblers, figure 5-6. Yan. So this is an electric nibbler which cuts without deforming the metal. So used for cutting. Ito naman, figure the 7, technician is using a disc sander to locate lost spots on a damaged panel. Ito naman yung ating figure 5-8, yung orbital sander, which is commonly used for finished sanding and feathering. Okay, figure 5-9, ito naman yung dual action sander natin, which are used for the applications in the body shops. Okay, figure 5-10, ito naman yung ating straight line sander, which which are used to sand large, relatively flat areas. Figure 5-11, ito naman yung ating tinatawag na belt sander, which can be used on both flat and curved surfaces. Some belt sanders have the added advantage of a bag attachment which traps sanding dust. Next, yung tinatawag nating buffer. Okay, so alam naman natin yung buffer is a polishing device, tama? Okay, so ang buffer or polisher is resemble this sander but are designed to run at a higher speed. It is a polishing bonnet pad used to buff the final coat of paint. So ito yung ating figure 5-12, pneumatic desander, and then used to polish. So as shown in figure 5-13, ito yung ating pneumatic polisher, equipped with a wool polishing bonnet. Ito naman yung ating pneumatic grinder, saka yung isa pneumatic cut-off grinder. Next, we have bench grinder. So ano naman yung bench grinder? Yung workbench which an electric motor. Drills can be electric or pneumatic. Okay, ito yung ating bench mounted grinder. Okay, next, we have the drill presses. So, ang drill presses ito is a floor-mounted drill press which is used to drill holes in a metal. Next, we have screwdrivers, vacuum cleaners, heater guns. Okay, ito yung ating cordless screwdriver. Ito naman yung ating heat guns which are often available in kits that contains various accessories. Okay, ito naman yung ating air compressor. For sure naman lahat kayo nakakita na ng compressor. Meron pa ba sa inyo hindi nakakita? Okay, next. Ito yung ating tinatawag na suction cups gun. Okay, ito yung ating mga gagamiting spray guns. So, spray guns are the most commonly used pneumatic tool in the automotive shop which are used for painting. So, these types of spray guns used for finishing, meron tayong suction cup guns as you can see in figure 5-20. Meron tayong pressure pot guns and high volume, low pressure guns, HVLP. Okay, meron din tayong tinatawag na blow guns. Okay, use blast for compressed air. So this is type of pressure pot gun and the paint hose is just used housed in the air hose. So figure 5-22 ito naman tinatawag nating HVLP spray gun which resembles a conventional suction gap spray gun. It produces much less overspray. Yan, mas mamahalin kumpara dun sa suction cup, ano, pero mas okay ang buga. And then figure 5-23, this technician is used vented tip blow gun to clean and dry parts. And then figure 5-24, pneumatic impact chisels with safety retainers. Next, yung tinatawag nating sand blasters. Okay, ito yung sample ng sandblasters. Sandblasters are used to remove rust and paint from various components. So this particular blaster is equipped with a dead man valve which stops the flow of abrasive particles when its handle is released. So it uses high pressure stream of air and abrasive materials to remove paint and rust. Okay po, sandblaster ito. Nakakita na kayo ng ganito? Sandblaster. Nakakita na kayo ng sandblaster? Si Alexander daw nakakita.
Opo.
Okay, next. Lips and jacks. So, ito yung figure 25, the typical cutting chisel bits. Okay. As you can see, the tip differs from the applications you will be using. So, the chisel bits, inaano rin siya dun sa ating mga pneumatic tools para mas mabilis yung pag-ano. So, alip naman mano, pwedeng pneumatic tools. So, this is the typical chisel bits. Ano, the next, yung mga lips and jacks, alam na naman ninyo yan. Ito yung typical hydraulic bottle jack. Ito yung ating hydraulic service jack. And then this is a body jack kit with hydraulic unit and attachments. Okay, ito naman yung ating portable unit which uses front end damage. And then, ano pa? Frame and panel straighteners. So mamaya makikita niyo yan sa video presentations. So ito yung typical in-floor rail system. Ito yung in-floor path system being used to pull out damage. Yan. Equipment parang puller din. And then ito yung ating bench type straightening system which are popular for unibody repair. The vehicle is held at a rail pinch weld. Several pulls can be made at one time with bench systems. Okay? Next, welding practices. So before we proceed with welding practices, I think meron kayong subject na mismong welding, pero iaano lang natin kasi part ng body repair and painting is yung tinatawag nating ah, welding. Kaya nung wala pang subject na welding, incorporated sa body repair and painting ang subject na welding. Kaya may part noon na pagka may subject ng body repair, nagwe-welding kasi merong bakal ding involved at merong processes. Kaya sineparate yung welding kasi medyo mahaba-haba yung topic na yun. Okay? So, bago tayo mag-proceed, so i-skip natin yung welding. So, activity tayo doon. Yun yung pinapagawa ko sa inyo. Engine stand. So, I will be showing muna a video presentations on how to use those several tools and equipment that I have mentioned earlier. So, I will be posting muna my recording kasi the next chapter is the simplified metal straightening. So after studying this chapter, you will be able to describe the properties of metals, explain the difference between mild steel and high strength steel. Somehow, I think meron na kayong idea kasi dun sa mga video presentations, pinapaliwanag na yung mga low spot, high spots, mild steel, high strength. Analyze metal damage and discuss the difference between direct, indirect, major, and minor damage. Describe the various tools and procedures you will use in string sheet metal. Then kanina, napakita na rin yung mga procedures, basic procedures. Explain the basic procedures for cold shrinking and heat sinking, shrinking rather, and describe the difference between open coat and closed coat abrasives. So, actually, it is a fundamentals of metallurgy. Ano? So, when we say metal straightening, it requires more skill than any other task in automotive body repair. So, as you can see in the picture, talagang when we perform body repair, tiyagaan. Ano? So, you should have more patience, strength, and then kailangan talaga tsatsagain. Ano? As you can see, yung isa nga, ang kanyang ini-straight kanina is napakaluma ng kalawangin. Pero natyaga niya, naunat niya, and then napaayos niya. So, to straighten damaged metal components properly, the automotive body technician must understand some of the basic properties of metals. So, when a body panel is stamped in a press at the factory, residual stresses are left in the metal panel. So, yun yung sinasabi natin kanina, pwedeng i-grinder yung mga residual. So, in some part, these stresses are so great that they can cause the metals to stretch or strain. So, the stretched areas can often be identified by wavy lines in the metal. So, in some cases, the lines look similar to the branches of a tree. Stretch areas are commonly found on compound curves, inner panels, and various reinforcement as shown on the video presentations. The curvature of panel is called the crown. Right? Curve. So a low crown is a little curvature and is actually structurally weak. So most roofs are low crown panels. Yung mga bubong kalimitan ay low crown. So pulling is always the best method for straightening metal parts. So this is particularly true with low crown panels. So as you can see, when we say low crown, yung mga malalambot. And then high crown has a high degree of curvature. and relatively strong. So fenders and door panels are often produced with both high and low crown areas. So this combination of curve adds strength to the panels. So inside reverse crowns are areas where the manufacturer stretch the metal into complicated curves. So these areas have a very high strength concentrations. So areas around a taillights, air vents, and some hood and fenders designs commonly have inside or reverse crowns. So sabi, when a body panel is damaged, additional stresses are created in the damaged area. So it is often necessary to release from some of these stresses during the repair processes. So it is commonly used to release stresses when straightening metal sheet panels. So anytime that it is applied, which is torch or grinder, the metal oxidation, expansion, and structural changes can occur. Color can often be used to roughly estimate the temperature of steel. So steel will change to a blue color about 600 degree Fahrenheit or 315 degrees Celsius. And then the steel colors will fade to a dull red at about 900 degree Fahrenheit or 480 degrees Celsius. So use extreme care when utilizing heat to release stresses. And then when we talk with metals, there are characteristics of a metals. So the property that allows metal to shape ang tawag doon ay plasticity. So plasticity is required if sheet metal is to be formed into fender, hoods, or other components. So the use of force to change the shape of metal is called plastic deformation. And then yung sunod naman na properties ng metal, yung tinatawag nating malleability. So yung malleability naman, yun yung property that allows the metal to deformation under compression. And deformation under compression is called upsetting. Sunod naman na properties ng metal, tinatawag natin ductility. So, pag sinabing ductility, it is the property that permits the metal deformation under tension. So, deformation under tension ay tinatawag na stretching. So, by and by, yung mga prosesong yun ay pwede nyo namang magawa, ni-stretch, kasi may mga nagkaroon na ng loft spots, may mga dents na. So, ang ginagawa na doon is stretching. Ano? So, all materials have some degree of elasticity. Pag sinabing elasticity, ito yung ah, nagbabak sa desired form, di ba? And then elasticity refers to a material's ability to be stretched and then return to its original shape. So rubber has good elasticity. So when materials are stretched beyond a certain point, they will return to its original shape. And that is ang characteristics, ang halimbawa nga niyan ay rubber. Pero lahat ng materials ay meron tinatawag na elastic limit. So when a metals have been changed or changed for a specific, so permanent stresses cause the metal to become stiffer and harder in stretched areas. So this is what we call work hardening. So if several sharp bends and made use of metals, the materials around the bends will become hard and brittle. So work hardening also occurs when damaged metals is straightened or stretched back into shape. So work metal without applying heat is called cold working. So when the material is not stretched beyond its elastic limit, elastic deformation occurs. And then, as you can see, this panel will spring back into shape when the stress are released. And then there are so many types of metals used in our automotive body. So we have the mild steel or the low carbon that's been used to make body panels and structural components for many years. We also have the high strength low alloy steel or the HSLA. It has replaced the mild steel for many exterior body panel applications such as front and rear pillars, rocker panels. We also have the high strength steels, include number of different high strength steels. It also includes the ultra high strength steel. So ginagamit sa mga door beams, bumper reinforcement, hinges, and structural components. So internal stress and high strengths are commonly replied by applying force. Okay? Metal damage. So as you can see in the picture, so when a metals uh, encounter, strike, or when a metal, syempre, uh, kinks or bend. So, yan. Kakaroon tayo ng problem sa metal. Metal damage. So, the terms kink and dents are sometimes misused when referring to automotive body damage. So, when we say a bend, it is any change any part from its original shape. So, when a bend is strained, there will be no permanent deformation in the damaged area. And then a kink, on the other hand, is a bend of more than 90 degrees. Okay, a distance of less than 3 mm. So after straightening a kink, there will be permanent metal deformation. Cracks and shears commonly occur when straightening kink areas. So if a structural component is kinked, it should be replaced. So when a metal is bent into a sharp ridge, the outer surface of the ridge is stretched and the inner surface of the ridge is upset. So stretched areas are lengthened and upset areas are shortened. To remove the damage, force must be applied at the bend area, which is shown in figure 7-2. Ika. So as letter A, simply pulling on the end of a sharp ridge will not remove damage. Letter B, force must be applied at the area to remove the ridge. Next, we have the different types of damage. We have the direct damage, indirect damage, minor damage, and major damage. So the first type of damage is the direct damage. So when we say direct damage, ito yung result of direct contact with an object. Holes, tear gouges, scratches are typical example of direct damage. So generally, only about 10% of total collision damage is direct damage. Yung sunod naman yung direct damage. So it is the result of direct damage. So out of the direct contact, so nagkakaroon ng sub contacts or effects, and that is the indirect damage. So when an impact causes a hole in panel, for example, direct damage, buckles in other areas of the panel generally occur. So these buckles are typical examples of indirect damage. So a front-end collision may result in a direct damage, but indirect damage may occur in the underbody and rear panels. About 90% of the collision is indirect damage. And then we can classify damage as minor or major damage. So minor damage involves repair that requires relatively little time and skill to complete. So ibig sabihin maliliit lang. Pag sinabi namang major damage, it requires more time and equipment. So commonly, pag major damage, hindi na siya sinasuggest na i-repair. Ano dapat gawin pagka major damage na? Cool. Ano dapat gawin pag major damage na? Replace na. Yes, Alexander.
Sir, replace po. Kasabay ako
Okay.
yung naunahan nyo.
Okay. So it should be replaced na. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, if there is a collision, you must first assess the damage, whether it is a minor or major damage. And then after that, the technician will estimate what is the probable costing and then apply apply the necessary procedures if it is applicable to repair. Kasi kapag ang parts ay major damage na, hindi na siya sinasuggest na i-repair pa. Palitan na lang. Kasi may mga readily available parts naman, for example, yung mga fender o bumper, na nabibili namang mga ganun. So, ipapalit na lang. Okay. Next. So as you can see in figure 7-4, this is a simplest dent which is made on panel struck by a direct blow. So simple pero matrabaho pa rin. Ano? So meron tayong basic straightening techniques pero napakita na yun sa video presentation kanina. Kaya wag na natin masyadong pabain. So in figure 7-5, when a car rolls over, a complicated series of dents is formed as you can see in the picture. So there are so many procedures that we can use or materials that we can use when we perform basic full dents repair. Una is using by vacuum cup pullers. So vacuum cup is a metal heat that beyond its elastic. A vacuum cup puller can often be used to remove damage. And then napakasimple ng vacuum cup, yung parang embudo ng sa CR na. panghigit. Ano? Second, yung pull rods and slide hammer. Okay? Next, yung paggamit naman natin ng pull tabs. Okay? Figure 76 is pulling force exerted in the pull rods ang ginagamit and hammers used to force the ridge back into place. Okay, ito naman, figure 7-7, the technician is using a pulling force to remove the damage. Ito, figure 7-9, the technician is using a slide hammer. Ito yun, ano, to pull out the damaged area. Figure 7-8, attaching pull tabs to damaged area. And then figure 7-10, after the pull tabs are twisted off na gamit ng slide hammer, the repair is round smooth. So, papakinisin naman. Okay, in figure 7-11, ito yung paggamit ng pick tool to remove a dent from a door panel. Pick tool. So, ang picks are used to put out damaged areas. They are used to push low areas that cannot be reached by a hammer. And then, itong spoons, na-discuss na natin to, ano. So, one method of, is using a spoon in the absence of a dolly. Power rams, figure 7-14. So, power ram is being used in a simple pushing operation, as you can see in the picture. Okay, next, this is a typical spread ram. Okay, yung spread ram pwede rin pang higit. So, using a power ram to correct damaged roof panel. Ito yung example. And then, yan, hammer and dollies. Paliwanag natin kanina kung paano gamitin. So, the arc of a dolly block should coincide with the contour of the body panel to follow its desired shape. Okay? And then, figure 7-19, use the curved face of the hammer on a concave surface to avoid making small dents and nicks in the surface. And then, figure 7-20, the dolly must be held firmly against the surface of the metal. And then, I think it's very clear naman dun sa mga video presentations kung paano gamitin yung dolly. Figure 7-21, it is the simplest form of ding work. And then, figure 7-22, on the dolly dinging, the dolly is held directly under the area being struck by the hammer. Okay? And then, files and pick hammers. So, yung files ginagamit to smoothen surfaces and to see if there is low spots on and high spots dun sa ating na damage na parts. Di ba? Napakita na yun sa video. So, off the dolly dinging, and then when using a body file, it should be pushed diagonally across the work surface. So, ito naman using pick hammer to remove small dents. Next, yung ating tinatawag na shrinking. So, pag sinabing called shrinking, it can be used on metal. Shrinking hammers and shrinking dollies are designed to reduce the surface. So, these tools have small cross groove mills into their surface, as shown in figure 7-27. Yung isa naman, kung may cold, edi syempre may heat, shrinking. Okay, iinitan, tapos pupukpukin din. Ano? So after heating the bulge area, the surface work with hammer and dolly again. Okay? So when heat shrinking metal hit a spot at the center of the bulge and continue as shown by the number of spots. So meron tayong pattern. Ano? Paikot din ang pagpukpok. Hindi yung kung saan nyo lang maibigan. Okay po? And then sunod, paintless dent removal involves the use of specially designed picks and spoons to remove minor dents. Then after that, nakikita niyo naman sa video presentations, so after dinging and striking operation, sunod sanding metal surfaces. Isasan nyo kung pumantay na ba yung low spots dun sa hard spots. Okay po, can you follow? Hello. Okay. Next, select sanding method. So, syempre, you will select the correct abrasive. Okay. Bala. And then yan. Example of an open coat abrasive and closed coat abrasive. And then various abrasive grit sizes depende dun sa material. So, kung talaga maraming metals dun sa surface, hindi dapat matalas-talas. Choosing the proper grade is marked on its backing material. Next, so you can use this sander. Yan. After considerable use, the outer edge of an abrasive disc can be cut off and the remainder of the disc can be installed on a smaller pad. Okay. So, this technician is using a desander to remove paint. I think napakita rin naman yan sa video presentation. Okay po? Questions?
Wala po.
Okay. So, let's have a short break. So, 15 minutes siguro before proceeding to the next topic. And then I will post my recording. So, medyo mabilis ang ating pacing ngayon. So, after studying this chapter, you will able to first differentiate between spot patties, lacing patties, and body filers. So, ito na yung proseso ng after nyong i-correct yung contour, yung mga dents, mamasilyahan nyo na. Okay po, tama ba? Okay, so describe the proper filing techniques used to repair various types of damage. Next, identify the safety precautions that should be taken when working with lead-based products. Evaluate the various types of corrosion damage and determine the best method of repair. And cite several advances that have been made in area of corrosion protection. Okay, so there are types of filler materials. So before you apply primer to a panel, so first you will consider the imperfections should be removed. That's why we have shown the several methods on how those contour or dents will be removed. In some vehicles, ang process ng pagre-repair ng mga dent and damages. So, ang ginagawa ng iba, nire-remove nila yung parts na may damage. And then, yun lang yung nire-repair nila. For example, ang concern ay hood. So, yung hood lang ang kinakalas para mas madali yung repair. For example, pinto lang yung kinakalas para mas madali yung repair. So, although the first step is the metal straightening techniques, which are used to remove most damage. It is generally necessary to fill low spots or other small flaws first. So it is virtually impossible to eliminate all dents, pins, and hammers without utilizing filler materials. So, ibig sabihin, after yung hammer and dolly procedures, yung finishing procedures na yun, so kailangan nyo pa rin lagyan ng masilya, para pumantay doon sa surface. So the three basic filler materials used in body shop includes spot patties, lacing patties, and body filler. So note, several of these chemicals used during filing operations can damage automotive finishes. Addition, a great deal of dust is created when sanding filler materials. Therefore, it is advisable to cover or mask surrounding areas. Kaya yung iba ang ginagawa, kapag ka nasa proseso na ng finishing, nasa proseso na ng painting, nasa proseso na ng paglalagay ng masilya, nilalagyan nila ng papel yung palibot na hindi naman i-repair para hindi siya matalsikan ng foreign materials. Therefore, it is advisable to cover or mask surrounding areas. So, a sheet of metal can be used to protect vinyl tops, interiors, and engine compartments. Okay po? Wait. Ah, yan lang natin yung ating syllabus. Baka tayo ay napa-over na. Body repair. Ah, ang finals na nga ito dinidiscuss natin kasi tayo automotive body shop and correcting sheet metal frame damage na. Okay, hanggang doon lang tayo sa body and frame straighteners. So itong painting finishing na ito na ay pang finals na. So we're done on ano pala, coverage ng midterm. So hanggang chapter 7. So siguro as an introduction, edi ito 'yon ano. So gagamit na tayo ng mga masilya. Ayan. So by and by, siguro I will have a thorough discussion on this sa next meeting kasi ay pang finals nito, plastic filer, yan. Yan, body filer which can be purchased in metal cans. And then yan, serve from file. Okay. So yan. So I think we will stop muna on that part and then I will stop the